Hi there, my name is Aaron Short and welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk about the Sweetwater GT11 Fender Stratocaster, and also should you modify a guitar that you don't love to love it, or will you never really love a guitar that you modify? This is a generalized statement and question, but I'm going to explore the journey of this particular guitar today. With this guitar, I bought it new from Sweetwater a little while ago. And the reason I wanted it is because I heard a lot about these GT11s, that stands for Grand Touring. The 11 is an 11-inch radius on the fretboard. And I thought this looked great. It weighs under 7 pounds. And as you know, I'm a stickler for the weight of a guitar. So I always go on Sweetwater and look at the individual guitars they post. They have pictures and the weight. When I saw the ridiculously low weight of the guitar, I went for it based on that mostly. Obviously, it's hard to change the weight and appearance of a guitar. You can do it, but you want to start with a guitar where you like the look and the weight and the overall guitar, and then make small changes. With this one, I ended up making bigger changes, which I'll talk about now, but you want to start with a good platform. And hopefully the guitar you get will just work out of the box. I really like this guitar out of the box. It's very cool. I'll go through the specs quickly with you, and I'll show the things that I changed as well. It's got some nice modern features. It's a nice blend of new and old. And it's also got this kind of semi-relic, which at the time I was into. I'm kind of less into relics these days, but at the time I was into the whole relic thing. I thought it'd be a great lightweight gigging guitar. I'll tell you the good things I liked about it, aside from the weight, of course. You have very interesting electronics. So you have your standard pickup selectors here, these two, the middle and bridge, and the bridge. The tone affects the tone of all the pickups. This last one is actually a blend knob, which Fender are doing quite a lot these days. This will let you blend the neck pickup in with the bridge pickup. And that's a nice kind of telly-esque sound. I'll just give you a demo of that quickly. This is just your regular bridge pickup by itself. So it's got that kind of ice picky. Okay, you want to obviously roll the treble down. Ice picky sound. But with this knob here, if you roll this all the other way, it brings in all the neck pickup as well. It gives you kind of a telly sound. It's really nice. It's not something that I use, and I notice that Fender do it a lot these days on a lot of their guitars, but I do think for some people that makes it way more versatile, and it's a good sound. All the way back to just the bridge pickup. And you can go in the middle, of course, as well. It's really, really, really cool. So the wiring is great. The pickups, I think, sound excellent. And the neck shape is nice. It's kind of medium. It's not crazy thin. It's not too fat. I do think the nut feels a bit small, but I don't think it is. Overall, just a great, very unique and different guitar. Now, what don't I like about it? What did I change? I'll go through these one by one. Let's start at the headstock here. The first thing I noticed was the tuning on this guitar wasn't great. Now, I don't find it great on any guitar with a whammy bar. This has the whammy bar. This has the trem system. So the first thing I wanted to do was to make it more stable, stay in tune better. So it didn't ship with locking tuners. So I ordered these tuners from StewMac. And these are the Fender drop-in replacement locking tuners. From the back, they look like vintage tuners. And from the front as well. But when you load them in, they actually lock in. So these are locked in place. These are locking tuners. So that was the first thing I did. Very easy swap. Anyone can do that. I think they're cool. I don't think locking is necessary. And they are a bit bulkier sometimes and a bit fiddlier sometimes. But for me, anything I can do to make a guitar stay in tune as well as possible will help. And I do believe in locking tuners helping tuning stability. Some people don't, but I tried that anyway. I tried that first of all. The next thing is the problem with the original tuners is that they were staggered, and these ones are not staggered. So for that reason, and because I like them, I decided to add a string tree. This string tree is really cool. This is a StewMac 3-string tree. So it still goes in the same way with the single screw, but it actually holds down the E, the B, and the G string. That's a really nice upgrade. If you've got a guitar with a string tree now that holds the B and the E, you can buy this and stick it in there, and it'll also hold the G down as well. I like string trees. Some people say they are ugly. Some people say they don't help your tuning stability because the string can get caught underneath it. You know, it's a bit like chasing your tail when you're trying to make the guitar perfect. But I wanted the locking tuners. I wanted the string tree. The G string sounded a bit off to me, and I think that really helped it. So for this guitar, I think that was a good way to go. Right, now we get to the neck. I don't love these darker fret markers. They're kind of hard to see. I believe in fret markers that are easy to see, and these are not particularly easy to see. So obviously I wasn't going to change those. That would be a very hard modification to do, but I do think Fender should use markers that are easier to see than this. They're just kind of copper and kind of blend into the wood. And this is a nice roasted neck, by the way, which is sanded at the back. And that's the other thing that I was not loving on here. The what you call skunk stripe in the middle. The problem with those is when they've sanded off the gloss here, which feels really nice, you can still feel the skunk stripes roughness because it's a different wood to this. So as I'm playing, I can feel it. So a future mod I was thinking about doing then was to have the neck refinished so you can't feel that. It's completely normal. I've felt this on all of these models, but I would like that to be completely flat or not have a skunk stripe at all. Most of my negatives so far then were about the neck. These are regular nickel frets, of course, not stainless steel. So at this point, you're thinking, well, just get a new neck with stainless steel frets, different markers and a different feel to the finish, right? Well, that's a possibility on a guitar. You can actually change the whole neck. I know close guitars sell carbon fiber necks where you can just drop that into the guitar. Come up to the pickups. Luckily, I really like the pickups. I liked about everything about the controls. I think they're great. The saddles had these adjustment screws here sticking out, which was hurting my hand. That's a big bugbear for me. I like the modern saddles where you don't really feel anything when your hand rests down. So these are really cool. These are StewMac Highwood saddles. All you do is you leave the bridge, but you drop in the saddles, and all the screws are definitely recessed. So yeah, you still feel something, but you don't have a screw digging into your palm. Sometimes Fender can position the screws in their regular bridges and saddles just right, so you don't feel it on that low one here, because you can cut the bottom of the screws as well. There's many ways online of how to make this more comfortable, but these Highwoods are great because you don't feel them on any part of it. So I recommend that mod to anyone that has a problem with that. Some people don't mind it, some people like the vintage saddles, but these again are a nice compromise between modern and vintage. So aside from that, you can see on the back there's no plate, which I love, but there are holes, and they do give you the plate to put on the guitar. I kind of wish they didn't. I wish there was just no holes at all. I like having that open backplate here like the John Mayer model has. So overall, I didn't make that many mods. I did spend a few extra $100 making these modifications, and I was pretty happy with the results. So as I said, I was very happy with the results. Still a cool guitar, but that neck was just bugging me. And I was then thinking, okay, I need to get the neck refinished, pay to have that refinished, and then I'll be happy. But I kind of put the brakes on there, and that's where I have this warning for you. I think modifying a guitar that you really do love slightly is fine. I think the dream is finding a guitar that you love, but I think that's almost impossible. I think a lot of people make a mistake of searching for that guitar. And that's why they do sell and buy and sell so many guitars. So beware of that. It's happened to me a lot. I think modifying a guitar slightly that you love is one thing. Like if you change the tuners or you change the pickups or one thing that's just bugging you that you can slightly improve easily. Like I said, ideally you just find a guitar that you love out of the box. And even if there's something that you don't love completely, you still stick with it. You just like everything about the guitar just works as a whole. That's nice when that happens. That does happen for me. But with a guitar like this, where you make that many changes, that's fine. What's the negative of that though? Well, first of all, you're going to affect your resale value. The minute you list a guitar online and say, I've changed it, they'll use that against you to knock down the price. I guess I could have put all the original parts back on this again. That's what you should do before you sell it. If you keep the original parts, then put them back on the guitar and just sell it as a stock guitar and sell those other parts elsewhere. Some people will appreciate it, but in my experience, whenever you say you've changed something on the guitar, they say, oh, well, I wanted the original spec. I didn't want that, so I'll give you less money. In my experience. So that's the first thing. And then for me, I just didn't want to go down an even further rabbit hole of throwing more money at something where I might spend months and months and months and hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars changing something and then still end up selling it and losing money. That's my personal preference. Maybe that would have been a good move. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Does that work for you? Do you mod guitars? Are you searching for the perfect guitar? Again, I don't believe that exists. I believe there are guitars that we can accept as a whole. There might be one thing that bugs you, but nothing in life is perfect, and that's just the way it is. So I don't know how I feel. I tend to not modify instruments. I don't think this experience was very successful. I did discover some cool new hardware, like the Highwood saddles. I'm a big fan of those now. But I still haven't loved them enough to put them in, say, my Sir. The Sir behind me is relicked, and I don't like relics right now, but as an entire guitar, I just like it. And since I haven't modified it, I know it will retain its value pretty well as well. So I've actually kept hold of that guitar despite those reasons, which is interesting, isn't it? But as for this guitar, I've decided to sell it on and move on. But I wanted to show it to you. I think it's very cool. And actually, I've just noticed that Sweetwater now have these for less money. They have an American-made version rather than the custom shop version. They are on the heavy side at the moment. Hopefully, they'll get some lighter ones in. But they have the smooth neck, the roasted neck without gloss. It's just a completely smooth neck by the looks of it. I haven't tried them. And they also have a recessed heel back here as well, which this one doesn't have. And they're way less money. So I'm really interested to see what's happening with those. I don't know if they're a special run or anything. I'll put a link below to the Sweetwater site so you can check them out. But they look really nice, non-relict, and have a lot of the features that I was actually looking for in this guitar. But despite all that, I don't hate this guitar. This is a cool guitar. Don't get me wrong. There's something really, really nice about this. And I'm going to miss it when it's gone, but I'm just not playing it for those reasons. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I just wanted to cover this on the channel while it's still here. If you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. It really helps me out. And I hope to see you in a video soon. So take care and be well. Bye-bye.